when I look back on who's had an influence on your life since I've been in Kentucky, and the first person I'd have to say is Denny Crum. And people say, well, why? He taught you basketball. That's true, but what Coach Crum did for the players that he had, he made you grow up. You know, it wasn't, I'm going to give you this rah-rah Newt Rockne speech before every game. He would say that you're only going to play 20x number of games a year, and if you can't motivate yourself for every game, then I can't motivate you. But even more importantly, you're not going to be ready to go out into the real world where there's nobody there to give you a speech and tell you that you need to go do this or that. So he made you grow up. You know, from a business standpoint, I would say I had the opportunity to meet and talk to, he wasn't the governor then, became the governor, John Y. Brown. And I remember talking to him about Kentucky Fried Chicken, and that he had purchased it, he had sold it, he owned the Kentucky Colonels in the ABA, and then he owned teams in the NBA, but just that he would take the opportunity to talk to me about this whole, how he got where he was, as, you know, at the time was inspiring, and that kind of gave you the thought that maybe you can do something, you know, similar to this. And I could go on, but a lot of, I've been fortunate. I mean, Kentucky has had a lot of great people, and I could keep going, but we'll probably stop there. You know, I think that the sporting world develops a person not just physically, but they develop them mentally, and they also have a big impact on who they become. Character, how did it develop your character? You know, I think back to when I first started playing organized sports, and this, for me, it was fourth grade, playing on the fourth grade basketball team, and never going out for a team at all, and not even really knowing how you interacted with other people on the team. But you learn that in order for you to be successful, you had to work within the team framework. You had to learn how to work with other people, and it wasn't always just about you. But even, I think more importantly, it taught you that every day you're not going to be successful. I mean, we didn't win every game. And so when you lost, how do you deal with adversity? You know, when I came into the league, the NBA, the total salary for the Milwaukee Bucks, all 12 players and 3 coaches, was $1.8 million. And that's for everybody, and that's for the whole year. And today, players make that in 1 or 2 games, or maybe not, well, 10 games or something like that. But so you went into the league thinking about what you're going to do, because you're going to have to do something to make money when you're out of the league, and no one knows how long you're going to play. So it's always, for us at that time, it was always in the back of our mind, what am I going to do when I stop playing or can't play this game anymore? So I did certain things in the summertime. My first 4 summers in the NBA, I took classes at the law school at the University of Wisconsin, and enjoyed that, but it was going to take about 20 years that way to get a law degree. And so I went from that to working for various companies in the summertime, trying to just figure out what is it you want to do when you stop playing. I never thought that basketball would be that thing that I continued after my playing days. I just never had that desire to be a coach. Maybe it might have been interesting to be on the management side. So for me, it was almost the first day I became an NBA player. You start thinking about, what are you going to do when this is over? When I looked at what I would do, and when you would sit and you dream about what life is going to be like when you stop playing, none of what has happened ever entered into a dream or even into the realms of possibility. I thought that I might get a job working for a Fortune 500 company in some department. Because that's what you were conditioned to do. It wasn't until my time representing the Players Association in collective bargaining that I really got interested in the business world. And people say, well, how did that happen? And during the collective bargaining sessions, we'd take a break. And so, we're there at that time arguing about per diem and number of games we played and how we traveled. And to us, that was the most important thing in the world, the game of basketball. But I would watch the owners that during a break, they would kind of go to different side of the room, and so I kind of eased my way over there to hear what they're talking about, and they're not talking about basketball. They're talking about business opportunities that one of the other owners may be able to get into. So they're just talking about business opportunities, but what I noticed was how excited they were about this, where it was almost like being at the collective bargaining table was a burden for them. They'd rather talk about business opportunities in the world of business. And so I said, maybe I'm missing something here.